What is up, guys? Sawcasm here, and today we're going to be playing some Heroes of the Storm, the new champion that just came out, Sylvanas, the Windrunner. We are playing Ranger General Sylvanas skin that comes with the bundle, or you could buy it separately. So she's pretty cool. I played a bunch of games with her, so I think I have a pretty solid handle on how to play her. And yeah, so let's hop right into a quick match. Okay, so here we go, guys. Spawning in on the Haunted Mines map, and we're gonna head to the top, see what happens. And the first talent we're gonna be taking is Lost Soul, which will reduce our W cooldown, which I'll go over. So basically, let's go over our skills real quick. Our Q stores up to 5 arrows, which you can shoot out really quickly at the closest enemy. It auto targets, shows up a little purple kind of target marker on them so you know who you're focusing. It refills every 2 seconds, or when you kill a enemy minion or mercenary, or you get 3 of them refilled, or 3 or 2. Okay, yeah, 3 when an enemy nearby hero dies. Hey, you guys get in here. Okay, so our W is Shadow Dagger, which you throw it out at a target like this. You target an enemy, and it kind of spreads out to all other enemies in the area. Now, I kind of like a 4-1 lane setup on this map, so I'm just going to head bottom. I'm going to be careful because they might be over here as they are. An Uberak going to block me off from going bots, but I think I'm going to try to take it. No, not worth the risk. Definitely not worth the risk. So I'm just going to safely head bottom, completely avoid that Sightstone, not worth the fight. But what is going on with you two? You two lovebirds sitting there. So we're going to throw this out. Okay, so our E is called Haunting Wave, which you send it out in a huge cone, like a very, very long cone. And 3v2 bottom and 1v2 top. I don't like this at all. Excuse me. So you send out this in a long cone, sends out a bunch of banshees like this, and you could activate it again to teleport to that. It's a good escape, a pretty good escape. You can use it through walls and stuff like that, but it's not super reliable because it does move pretty slowly. So it's not like a get out of jail free card when you're targeted. It's more of like a plan in advance. You could also use it offensively. There are some builds you can kind of go with an offensive build for that. And these guys are still AFK. What the heck is going on? Okay, anyways, we're just going to do the best to do what we do, whatever that is. And, yeah, so you see these Qs just go in hand because they don't use any mana, so it's very, very good, very effective to just kind of spam them, especially when on a minion wave, then you get them refilled anyway at a minion wave, so when the minions die. So, yeah, pretty good. We're going to be going for kind of a W, a Shadow Dagger focus build. Sorry, I still am learning the names of the skills, but, yeah. Basically, the reason for this is because in the mines, there are a bunch of minions, obviously, that are very important for these skulls. And basically, with a build like this, we can really get those minions down very, very quick. So that's what I'm going to try to do personally, although we won't even be able to do that if we don't push into these mines right now. Need some help, buddies. Oh, finally, Malfurion. How nice of you to join us, buddy. It looks like, yeah, Thrall is going to try to be a Dingleberry and try to fight us over here. As I see there is some action going on over here. I do not want a piece of this action, so I'm just going to back off. Unfortunately, there's not much I can do here. Be careful in Nubarak. Definitely not the way you want to go. They're just standing there at those mines. I can see you there, buddy. Okay, I'm going to head to the top mines to try to help them out over there because I know how important the skulls are. Right now, we're only down a little bit, a few skulls. Let's go help out our fellow Asmodan. So, by the way, I forgot to go over the team just because I was focused on other things, and this is a very important skull camp, so I would have liked to take that, but it looks like we're not going to be able to head over there, even though they just got it just now. Probably could have done something, and it looks like Malfurion, what are you doing, my friend? Okay, so Nubarak coming in with the clutch dive, gonna come in to try to help these guys. I wish Asmodan would be a nice guy and also join in on the fun, but it looks like he isn't very interested on joining in on the fun. So I don't know how I feel about that. So we're gonna use our E to kind of teleport to the back line, take out their DPS, kind of assassinate them when possible. That is the very, very good thing about Sylvanas. She can kind of assassinate the backline heroes very, very quickly if she wants to. She also does have some other ways you can spec into the talents, kind of go for a more pushing, mercenary-based support build-ish, kind of. But we're not going to go for that. We're going to go for kind of, like I said, the W-based build. But right now we're going to be taking our... should we be taking Venom? Now, I think we're going to be taking our Ranger's Ambush, which basically refills all our Qs, all 5 of them, when we use our E. So, you know, it's a ton of offensive damage. We can also use it both offensively and defensively to get away. So we're going to collect all these skulls and go back. Oh, thanks, Malfurion late once again. I really do appreciate that. By the way, the teams are myself, Sylvanas, Anubarak, Asmodan, Malfurion, Vala versus Sylvanas, Anubarak, Sonya, Thrall, and Nazebo. So we have a healer. They don't. That's pretty good, but I've definitely lost games where I said that before, so I'm not going to get my... not gonna get super, super, what the heck am I saying? I'm not gonna get super. I'm not gonna get super my hopes up. What am I saying? Why can't I say that? By the way, I got this cool Ranger General skin. I really do like it. Although I do like the regular skin a lot and the Master skin. They did a really good job detailing her, in my opinion. All the stuff looks really cool. So we're gonna have to defend because theirs is a little bit better. We can send one person to attack, but I don't really think that's the best strategy. So apparently my team is being nice guys and they're getting the mercenary camps for me. So we're going to be able to do a ton of damage to this thing here, to this giant enemy crab. It's not really a giant enemy crab, but okay. So here's what we're going to be doing with our E. So our E haunting wave, still learning the names of skills, but we're going to throw out all our Qs, then use our E to teleport like that, and then we have 5 more instantly refilled thanks to our Ranger's ambush talent. So it's pretty good. A lot of damage. You see, we're taking it out faster than the enemies are taking it out, because I would like to say that we are doing a good chunk of that damage, even though we do have Asmodan, the siege damage king, along with Sergeant Hammer, in my opinion. Well, Sergeant Hammer can't be a king, it's a girl, but yeah, it is what it is. So we do have our mercenaries pushing over here. Asmodan looks like he wants to go up top. By the way, I forgot to mention, our trait is really interesting as well. So basically what it does is it stuns an enemy mercenary camp, minion, or turret every time you use an ability or basic attack. So you see we can... Alright, look. Right now it has ammo. This turret has ammo, but we're keeping it locked down because of our passive. So that's really good. Pretty much we're just going to be able to push freely almost because of that. So I'm just going to keep these turrets locked down. That is going to be my job when pushing. And I'm going to take that role. I'm going to love it. So me plus Asmodan, that's a pretty deadly combination. And the next skill we're going to be taking... Don't be greedy. I do agree with this. We do need to back, but we're kind of too late. And we're too far invested at that point, and I would like to back now just so that we can defend and more than we already haven't, which we definitely should have been coming back to defend more. But took out Life Drain for some more sustain in lane, especially when fighting in lane. Life Drain will actually help us a lot for just getting some health back, much needed on Sylvanas. She doesn't really have any other way to do that. And use my skill very, very offensively. And no, Nazebo. Oh no, I'm getting completely focused. No. Okay, so a little bit out of position on my part, but I was able to take out Nazebo. So not a complete waste. Sylvanas getting away with a little bit of health, unfortunately. Let's see, Anubarak going in, nice little crowd control play on Anubarak, protecting his team, or my team rather. Just felt like I was shoutcasting there for a second, just watching the game. Let me take a sip from my water, excuse me. My voice is very scratchy today from doing so much talking. I hate talking. No, I'm just kidding, I love talking. Okay, no, I don't love talking, but whatever. Okay, whatever, I don't know what I'm saying. Let's just take out these minions real quick because we do have pretty good wave clear. We also have some other abilities we could take up that will not only let us control an enemy mercenary camp or an enemy minion in general, but it'll just also just do a ton of damage to the minions and stuff like that and kind of go for that kind of build. But I'm not really interested in that this game. My team is right here, so I wasn't being very afraid, but it looked like they're a little bit late to the party in my opinion. Don't want to get locked up in these zombies as I just did. Not good. They actually did a lot of damage to me, so that is why we have our lifesteal on our W, so we could just get hit by these spiders and take a lot of damage. No, I'm just kidding, but that is why we have our lifesteal on our W. Heal up from this a little bit. Oh buddy, the party here, so we're going to use these to get away. And looks like we're going to be able to get away. I wish I could throw something out here, throw out a skill or something. We just got our Wailing Arrow, just got our ult, but they already had it, so I really didn't want to fight. There definitely would not have been an advantageous fight for us. So I'm just going to sit here, wait to see if I could throw out a Wailing Arrow to protect my teammate. And it looks like, oh, Anubarak dodges it, actually, by going underground, and we're going to be using our skill offensively. But Anubarak getting that lifesteal on me, and he was able to sustain himself for a little bit, so I got really scared. They're pinging for the boss. I would like to contest it, but obviously I'm solo. There's no way I'd be able to. I'm solo. Yes, I'm playing solo, but I would not be able to contest it. Luckily, Asmodan is over there, but they are... Oh, they don't have it solo. Okay, so we're going to have to go back, definitely try to contest it. One of the most important objectives, clearly, in this game, even though Thrall is soloing it. I don't think he's going to be able to get very far soloing that bad boy on his own, so. Alright, so we're heading over to this mine. Looks like Sonya is being defensive of this thing, but whatever. We're just going to toss out our W and get some damage on her as we head over to this golem here. They are pretty low, so it looks like we have the opportunity to hop in here and potentially do big things here, considering they also got the golem really low. I don't really care about... Well, okay. So as I was saying, I don't really care about... Nazeebo's little minion here. His, man, I played so much Diablo 3. I actually mained Witch Doctor in Diablo 3, and I just can't think of what the heck that thing is called right now, just because I'm too focused on the game. But yeah, so they did kill the golem. I'm going to try to collect all these skulls. I think I got a good chunk of them, even though I don't want Anubarak to get away, so I'm really trying to focus her down as well at the same time. My team is coming in to help me out and support us, so I'm going to toss out a silence over here. So our ult, basically what it does, a very, very long range silence and damage in a pretty good area. So it's a really, really good skill in my opinion. You could shoot it. It doesn't hit the first person that it hits. So you can kind of control who it hits and you can kind of just send it to the back line and silence them, especially on a crazy DPS guy like Nazeebo. So it's very, very good, effective for the situation. You see the lifesteal that my W is doing with that lifesteal, or what is it? Yeah, Lost Soul and Life Drain talent. So doing a lot of lifesteal. Always want to use our Qs considering they take up 0 mana and also do a ton of damage when you add it up. So the next talent that we're going to be taking as we get attacked by this golem, and get away from my sippy cup. Just take a sip from the sippy cup just for the hell of it, because it's not going to be here much longer, unfortunately. And we're going to take, let's see. We're going to take this, our Overwhelming Affliction, which will actually slow heroes, enemy heroes with our talent. So we're going to up, what it does is slows 5% for each, yeah, each ability or basic attack. I just want to make sure it was abilities and basic attack. So any of those, and also we're going to fight here. This is a pretty dangerous fight. I'm not sure how I feel about this here, but I'm going to try to stay alive as much as possible, use my Banshee to escape. It looks like Thrall is chasing Vala, and Vala and I have pretty good damage combination. Nazeebo chasing. She has a zombie wall, which could have pretty much shut us down there, so I definitely wanted to be extra careful for that, because it does have a pretty good range. Asmodan upset because why are we never together as a team? I do agree with that. Malfurion getting caught out, even though the enemies are extremely low. All solo. Man, that is tempting to just jump in there. And Anubarak blames Hitler for that. Just blame Obama. Thanks, Obama. Thank you, Obama. Oh my goodness. Blah, 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 Obama. Okay, Malfurion still chasing. Still chasing. Still chasing. So I'm going to try to head over here down bottom, even though Nazeebo potentially could just own me right now. But I'm going to take that risk. I would say it's worth. So we're going to toss everything we got here. And Thrall chasing my buddy here. Leave my buddy alone. I don't want to waste my ult now because it is kind of... Well, it wouldn't necessarily be a waste, but it is an AoE. I don't think it would be used to the fullest extent. Nazeebo trying to look for a sneaky kill here, but I see you, buddy. Vala hopping in onto Nazeebo, so I'm going to help my buddy over here. Toss out our ultimate. Silence Nazeebo. That is the benefit right there of what our ultimate does. We're going to use our E over the wall just for a little bit of security. Take a sip from the sippy cup. Get a heal from Malfurion. Now we could be back to full health within a few seconds once this regen kicks in. Only down. We're starting to catch up. Well, not catch up. We weren't super behind ever in levels, but... Well, I wouldn't say ever, but this game at least. There were times when I was super behind in levels before, but... I need to breathe. I keep forgetting to breathe while doing live commentaries. It's like, I gotta pick between talking, breathing, and playing the game. I don't know. Which one do I want to pick? And usually the answer is not breathing, so... Hop back into the mines. Let's get some damage on these. Personally, I would like to stay together, but it looks like they just took that one over there, so I'm gonna just ping for retreat and just let them know that there is possibility of enemies being in that area, and they are lurking at the bottom. You could see that is a kind of nifty little trick. I'm sure a lot of you people know. you people. I don't know why I said that like that, but I'm sure a lot of you guys know that you could kind of see when the enemies start capturing stuff because it just disappears on the map. It's like, it magically disappeared. I wonder where it went. And we're going to be doing a ton of damage with our skills. However, I really don't want to get focused. That's why I'm playing super cautiously. We don't really have our escape up. Now we do, and we're going to use it offensively on this Nzebo, doing a ton of damage to him. However, Malfurion keeping us alive. The only reason I'm still chasing in this because I know they do have another enemy over there. And, ooh, buddy, able to get her just in time. Okay, throw out my silence. I hit them both, but I'm not really going to be able to get away from this most likely because Thrall is able to stun me and keep me in place and knock me down and hurt my feelings. I thought we were friends, Thrall, but apparently not. So doing pretty good on the XP contribution. I'm happy about that. Sylvanas, in my opinion, compared to Vala, is definitely not a huge damage deal, even though, you know, I'm keeping up in damage, but in my opinion, Vala is more of a raw damage dealer. Sylvanas a little bit more of a supporty utility. She is a ranged specialist after all. She's not a ranged assassin, unlike Vala. So a little bit more supporty. You can kind of go for builds based on jungle camps and the mercenaries, stuff like that. And also you could take the level 10 talent that actually lets enemy minions fight for you, but we're not going for that build. We're going for more of a team fighting build in this game. So we're going to take the Shadow Dagger, makes enemies vulnerable. Also, Blood for Blood is really good talent. Very good, of course, on pretty much every character. But this, I think, is going to be a little bit better because we are going to be able to clear these skulls super easy. Gonna try to help my buddy out here, even though we are taking a ton of, well, not a ton of damage. What am I talking about? So we're taking some damage, but we're doing a pretty good job of 1v1ing him here, and that, in my opinion, is from the sustain that we got from the lifesteal and stuff like that. And he's still chasing us. Leave me alone, you fatso. I don't like that. We're gonna have to go back and do some pushing, hopefully. Let's push, because we do have the advantage as far as the skulls this game. Now we do have no second tower, so... Oh no, I'm sorry, what am I talking about? We do have a second tower here, so yeah, we definitely should be pushing here. One person sit and defend, that's perfectly fine. A noob rack. Noob rack. Just kidding. I don't think he's a noob. I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, Nubarak's going to sit and defend. I probably could have done a lot of damage to it, but I could also do a lot of damage pushing, especially with my passive that we talked about before, where I can lock this down and not let it shoot my golem. So we're just going to be able to do a lot of pushing. If we would have went for a more even pushier build, then wow, that would be a very... Ow, my goodness, that hurt. Whatever that was, I think that was Thrall's skill. That was very painful. So I'm going to get the heck out of here with our Haunting Wave, try to use it to escape. However, Nubarak coming out of the ground. I was about to say out of nowhere, but he definitely had to come from somewhere, and that somewhere was the ground. They should definitely make a Shark Nubarak skin. Oh my, that would be sick. I definitely need to like submit that to Blizzard or something like that. I don't know. What happened to pushing? I was there pushing. What the heck are you talking about, Asmodan? I don't know. Where were you? That is the real question. All right, Asmodan died, so I guess he was doing something. I don't know. Anyway, Vala looks like she really hates these mercenary camps for some reason. I don't know. She has a vendetta against them. Maybe they killed her friend or something. Maybe she thought they killed me and she thought we were buddies or something. I don't know. I have nothing against her, but whatever. They're all grouped up. They finally defeat our golem, so it's pretty good. You know, at least it stalled us some time and it kind of saved us, got us back in this game. Not that we were ever so far behind. What are you doing, buddy? Buddy, I know you have friends coming, but you don't want to be super aggressive like that when you don't really know where the enemies are. We didn't even have vision all the way over there, so that was a pretty bad play in my opinion. Definitely a little too aggressive. Gonna have to toss out my silence, try to keep them alive if possible. Looks like it will do a good job of keeping them alive. And we're gonna use RE to get away once again, as we have been doing all game, and it's been working effectively. So toss out our W, because once again, going back to what I said about Sylvanas being good at going for the backline heroes. So you can kind of... All right, you have a bunch of things that allow you to do that really well. You have the ult, the W, which spreads between targets. So obviously if it hits some minions, you know, teammates and stuff like that, or sorry, enemies, and then they get close to their teammates, it will spread to them. Also her E because you could use it and get behind targets like that with a teleport. So a lot of options to kind of get behind the enemy's back line. Of course, you do want to be careful and you want to pick the right times to do this because you can potentially put yourself in a really, really bad position that could screw you over more than it could help you. So you really want to think about, is it worth it for me to play super aggressive right now and kind of go for their backline healer? Or should I just, not necessarily backline healer, but just backline in general, or should I just continue focusing the, I don't know, melee targets and stuff like that? Of course, you want to try to avoid focusing the tank most of the time, not always, but so we're gonna pick up Deafening Blast as we hit level 20. Luckily, we are pretty much even as far as levels in this game, just hit level 20, as did our enemies. Does a little bit more damage, and I think a 50% more silence duration for, or wait, oh sorry, 50% more damage and a doubles the silence duration for enemies you hit in that circle, in the middle circle there. So I'm gonna get her off of her mount and Sylvanas, and this Sylvanas is dead. However, a lot of enemies coming in, so we're gonna be super careful over here. Also coming from behind, so this is a shady situation. I'm not a fan of stuff like this, but we're gonna toss out our ult and silence this Sonya. Is that a Sonya? Wait, I'm not sure. Yeah, it is Sonya. She looks very manly and stuff like that. Very brawlic. I think she's a dyke now, but you didn't hear that from me. So we're taking a ton of damage. Asmodan coming in from the other side, 2v1ing, not liking what he's saying, so he's going to try to head out, summoning his minions, trying to, I don't know if he wants to duel or not. I think he's just like, yeah, I'm going to throw out a couple of shots on my way out, but I kind of want to duel you guys, but I kind of don't. Vala coming in with a ton of damage, definitely can take this 2v1, but unfortunately, oh, wait. Okay, here we go, boys. That's what I'm talking about. Now we have 4 enemies down as we have 3 teammates down, so our team's going to be able to relatively easily take the rest of these skulls, or most of the skulls, I would say. As I say that, Nazebo, a full health Nazebo, just takes out both of my teammates, unfortunately for me. Now he's going to be able to take these skulls pretty freely as we have all of the teammates down, so he thought he was dead. I actually thought he was dead as well, but he's going to be able to take these pretty freely. Now we're going to have to go fight for Golem, because at least we do have an opportunity for that. We're not just completely out of the game. We do have three teammates. Why do I keep saying enemies and teammates? Getting them confused. We have 3 teammates coming up before they do, so that's really good, including myself. Going to be able to contest this, and let's see what happens as I take a sip from my water and clear my throat. Excuse me. I apologize for that. Okay, if it would ever let me into mine, I would really appreciate that. Yeah, so the problem with talking, I kind of do need to strain my voice a little bit just because of the way my setup is. Like, in order to actually be heard properly by the mic, I kind of just need to get really close. Just not a really good talking and playing position, so I'm trying to work on a proper setup for all this and stuff like that. Gonna teleport away, even though Malfurion could use some help. I do see Thrall up there, although we have no teammate help coming, so I'm gonna be super careful. Head the other way. Getting chased super hard by Sonya, so gonna just have to E away as Vala decides she wants to go top. But I know Vala, yeah, they have 3 over there, and Vala plus myself, I don't think is gonna be able or gonna be enough to take them out. However, where has Nazebo been this whole time? I don't know. Has she been fighting the golem and getting the golem the whole time? Probably. Yep, that looks like what's been going on. So Vala heading into the golem, going balls to the wall right now, and I don't know if I really agree with this decision because I don't think it was a fight that we could win. And sorry, oh, my laundry just went up. Nice, yeah, a bunch of annoying stuff happening in this video. And Asmodan coming in with a ton of damage. We're able to get the double kill and hopefully finish off this golem. Who do they have alive? They have 1 alive. It is Nazebo, of course. This Nazebo's a sneaky beaver, man. And he's just always alive and we don't even expect it. So at least we'll be able to probably get this golem if I don't die. Please don't die. You didn't see anything. Okay, yeah, because I typed that, no one in the game actually saw me die from that golem, okay? So if you ever get embarrassed, like by jungle camps or stuff like that, see? Asmodan didn't even see that. He doesn't even know what I'm talking about. That's how you know it actually works. So definitely really good. And yeah, so pretty much hanging in on this game. Relatively even game. 22 to 22 as far as levels go, and the skull's relatively even, 48 to 52. So we're just gonna sit and defend this, play it a little bit safe. We do have a mercenary camp pushing down the bottom as they are trying to take down our golem up top, and they do have 2 enemies down, or they have 2 teammates down. We have 2 enemies down, so that is good for us, although they are up now and able to fight that golem, as I'm still down, and as is myself, Sylvanas. Wow, did I really think that was a separate person? They are taking down a lot faster, as I believe Vala and Malfurion were the only ones fighting it, but Vala and Asmodan wanting to be heroes. They want to be heroes. They're trying to push down this siege. Asmodan obviously has a ton of siege damage, so potentially can do that. And I'm going to head over here to try to help my teammates, try to take out the golem real quick. But the enemies, unfortunately, they took out the golem a long time ago, so that's not too good for us. It's not looking too good. But we're doing a ton of damage to this golem now that we're finally up. Get out of that AoE with our escape skills. And alright, take that down. Now it's time to push. I don't know what happened. Okay, it looks like the push with Asmodan and Vala, as I wasn't paying attention. It looks like it didn't go too well considering they're both dead. But definitely... Oh, bad play on my part. So I'm just going to teleport away. I use my ult to silence that thrall for my teammate. And Sylvanas, a great chaser, just chasing me down and chasing a Nubarak down. Nothing really I could do. I could probably throw out a W there, but definitely would have been a super risky play. Probably not worth the risk. So we're going to heal up to full health from the Fountain of Youth over here. And they are wanting to push down our tower, which they can do really, really easy with Sylvanas' passive. Sylvanas is passive. And yeah. This is tough. Okay, so Malfurion with a good root on Sonya, and it looks like they are going to get that tower, unfortunately. My ult's still down for another 50 seconds. What do you expect considering I just used it? And gonna try to use my W on pretty much any target. Doesn't really matter considering usually I think it's just because, you know, Sylvanas is brand new and no one really knows what's going on yet. But I'm going to try to go for their Nazebo just because he could do a ton of damage, obviously, and pretty much would wreck our team. We did get the lucky quad kill to defend our base with a last-ditch effort. Gonna try to push out these mercenary camps up here. A teammate pinging for the top. Nubarak up here also pushing with these mercenary camps, although it doesn't look like he's committing too hard. He's backing off, so not a bad idea for him considering the mines are up and it would benefit him to stay alive. So we really need this mines. This is good for us. Definitely what we're gonna need to make a comeback if possible. If we have any potential for a comeback, this is definitely the chance right here. I'll get a little more pushing done before the time comes up. So we have 15 free seconds in the mine. I would say, oh, Thrall left the game, so that's... I wouldn't really like to win like that, considering that would be an unfair, but we do have an advantage right now, considering we are in the mines and they're not. So we're going to use... Oh, Vala just standing still. Apparently he doesn't want to take this advantage to use it to the best of ability. So the best mines are... The best skull camps are the mids, the 2 mid ones, which have the most skull guys. I don't know what the heck they're called, but the most of them. And obviously they drop the most skulls because of this. So we're going to be able to collect a lot of skulls, considering they just came up recently. They are now pushing the top into the lane to try to get to the mines here. However, it looks like Asmodan is doing a good job of holding them off and killing the Sylvanas. So that makes it a 4v4 right now as Asmodan gets taken out, but that's perfectly fine considering we do have the advantage in the mines. They are still not even close to the mines, so we're going to be hopefully not taking this low just for them to come and kill us, but it looks like we're going to be able to do a ton of damage, enough for us to completely take it out, and hopefully 100-0 them on the skulls. That is perfect, so nice play, Asmo. That was a good play on his part, I would say, considering he kept them all distracted enough. And that is kind of the risk you need to think about when you... Oh, our core is taking some damage. That's not good. But that is the risk you need to think about when... Pretty much every time you need to decide if there's an objective coming up and if you need to split with your team or do something more effective, which is a lot of times you want to be with your team, but there are times when splitting up would be more effective. So I'm going to defend this goal and just have me take it out real quick because I could definitely take this down super quick. And it is going for our core, you know, usually... Oh, they are all here, so this could potentially be super dangerous. And I'm going to toss out my ult. However, they are doing a ton of damage. They're trying to backdoor us, and pretty much a last-ditch effort, which I don't blame them, but I'm going to be able to get away. But our core is taking a ton of damage still. They are all attacking our base as we are base racing them, as we are attacking their base down there. I'm going to have to try to do everything in my power to keep them away, and they're level 20... Or, sorry, they're 0 golem. Oh, we're able to win the base race. Super close game. Oh man, that could have ended really poorly for us. So yeah, good game, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I hope you guys enjoy some Heroes of the Storm content. Subscribe for more. I know I'm not the best at talking while playing. I was a little bit nervous while doing this. I'm not going to lie, because I'm still pretty new at the live gameplay thing and, you know, just the Heroes of the Storm live gameplay. But I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, leave a like rating on this video. It would really help me out. Subscribe if you're new. And with that said, thanks for watching. Peace.